Hey everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake and today we are going to be looking at the subreddit r/talesfromtechsupport, where people who work in tech support tell us their stories of things they have to deal with on a daily basis. If you're new to Storytime, then please do subscribe down below so that you never miss out on another video. But for now, let's sit back, relax and enjoy some funny Reddit stories. I shut the computer down every single night. Whenever a user puts in a ticket about their computer being slow, the first thing I do is check the uptime. 9 times out of 10, there's a system uptime, on Windows 7 at that, of well over 40 days, and a reboot clears all their problems. Occasionally, a user argues about this, and today was one of those days. This particular user was one of our regional directors, so not really anyone I could report her to for her completely terrible behaviour, because the VP that oversees them is just as bad. But whatever. I got a sysadmin job offer from a different company yesterday, and I'm putting in my notice tomorrow, so I don't honestly even care at this point. As I was explaining to her that we recommend rebooting computers once every 7 days, just as a maintenance thing, she interrupts me with, No, do not even tell me to reboot the computer, I shut it down every single night. Okay. We also commonly see users who think logging off is rebooting, or turning the monitor off is shutting the computer off. And none of the computers are all-in-ones, so it's not an iMac case where there could be a confusion as to the difference between the screen and the computer itself. I tell her Windows is reporting an uptime of 41 days, 19 hours and 52 minutes. Well, the computer is lying because I literally shut it down every night. Okay, sure. Let's pretend the operating system is lying and trying to make you look bad. I'll play along. I asked her to walk me through how she shuts the computer down as I was remoted onto the system. One big, heavy, pretty sure she was still rolling her eyes at me sigh later, and I get, There, I shut it down. The computer is still on. If it were off, I'd have been disconnected. I can still move around and open programs. The computer is definitely not shut down. Yes it is, the screen is black. Did you press the button on the monitor? That's how you shut a computer down? Are you new? No. I'm not new. I've been doing jobs like this since 1997. I've also been in the position at my soon-to-be former employer for just over a year, so definitely not new. I try to explain her the difference between a computer and a monitor, and she argues with me for a good 5 minutes about how I'm wrong. Different tactic. Okay, well, let's move on. Let me walk you through how IT recommends shutting a computer down. She agrees along with a snide comment about how we're always telling them to do things incorrectly. Somehow. Whatever. With her watching, I walk her step by step through just rebooting the computer and add in, if you want to turn it off, click on shut down instead of restart. Mostly, I didn't want to shut it down because I wasn't entirely confident I could convince her to push the power button on the tower to turn it back on, and she'd just have lost her mind thinking I broke the computer somehow. That should be it, but nah, I'm not that lucky today. Instead, she flips and starts yelling at me how I just broke the computer because Windows went away, and now there's this black screen with all kinds of words, just the POST screen, and how she'd be talking to the IT director and the CIO if I got her documents deleted. Mid freak out at me, the computer finished rebooting and drops her back on the Windows logon screen. After she logged in, I showed her the system uptime again, which was now reporting at 3 minutes. Oh, no apology for being fantastically incorrect or yelling at me about it, because why would she want to do that? And, of course, it was running fine after a reboot. IT director threw out the 1-star review she gave me, trying to state that I was rude to her, and acted like she didn't know how to use a computer, primarily because he overheard my half of the conversation. I seriously don't understand how people like that function in a modern office environment. Like, pushing the button on the monitor doesn't turn off the computer, like, oh my god. Printer will not print. When I open the front cover, it gives me an error saying to close the front cover. That's it. That's the entire ticket. I call thinking maybe she forgot to put a few words in there or something. Nope. I ask her what she's trying to do. Print. Okay, fair. I walked right into that one. What happens when you try to print? Nothing. I ask her if the computer or the program she's trying to print from gives any errors or messages. Nope. I ask her if the printer makes any sort of noise when she sends a print job. Grinding, whirring, beeping, or if it shows any status message on the display. It says, close front cover. Okay, is the front cover open? Yes. Close it. I need to change the ink. That would have been a useful thing to put in the ticket or tell me, but alright. I probably should have somehow thought to ask, okay, change the ink, then close the front cover. Oh, there isn't any ink. I just ordered it from Staples today, but I need it to print. Right, okay. Well, maybe the cartridges are just low and not empty, and we can get it going even if it'll be lower quality. I ask her if the cartridges are empty or just low. I don't know. I threw them out because the printer said they were almost empty. Alright, well, without ink cartridges at all, the printer isn't going to print even if you close the front door. If you can get the cartridges out of the trash, we can put them back in and see if we can get it printing with whatever ink is left. I'm not digging around in the dumpster for them. Fair? I wouldn't either. I explain again that without ink cartridges, the printer will not print because an inkjet printer requires ink to print. Well, I need to print off the weekly billing reports this afternoon. Then you'll need to go to a local store and pick up some ink cartridges. Can't you just remote onto my computer and fix it? Listen, if I could manifest physical things by remotely connecting to a computer, I would not be doing this job because I would probably be a reclusive billionaire that would never have to have these kind of conversations. She asked to speak to a supervisor when I told her no because the customer is always right. Happily for me, we have just me here on Friday afternoons, so she got no, and you're not right in this case, as her answer, which I'm sure I'll get yelled at for on Monday, but I also put in my notice today, so, I mean, they can't really fire me when I've already resigned, and if they want to tell me just to not come in anymore and give me a 2-week vacation before my new job starts, I'm okay with that. Close the ticket out with, user removed ink cartridges from the printer and threw them away. Printer will not be functional until user replaces the ink cartridges. I feel like this would be great in like a garage scenario. So she calls up the garage, excuse me, the car won't move. Is there any gas in the car? No, but I need to get to work. Can you please send me some gas by email? I don't know what this program does, let's just uninstall it without asking anyone if it's safe to do so. Years ago, I was working a position supporting some data entry software. My job was strictly to help users having issues with said software. When it came to things like managing the database or the server it resided on, that was a completely different team. Every once in a while, I would receive an email from the vendor, whose software I was supporting, that the drive on the database server was getting full and needed space added. I would pass this information onto the server team and space would get added. No problem. Well, one day, everything halted. The database crashed, users were calling, screaming at me that they couldn't log on to the data entry software that I was supporting. It turns out, the drive the database was on happened to be completely full. Why did this happen, you may ask? Some guy on the server team was poking around and found the database drive monitoring software installed by our vendor and didn't recognize the program. Fearing that it was malware, he removed it without telling anyone. Needless to say, he wasn't around for much longer after that. What's this weird System 32 thing on my computer? Oh, I don't know about this. I think I might have to delete it. Second day on tech support. Someone tried to sell me on a pyramid scheme. This happened just yesterday. It was my second day on the job. I work in the library at my school campus, and this one lady came over to me asking for the fanciest paper we had. I got her some stock paper, and she kept thanking me. I went back to my seat, and she called me back and asked me for help printing. I had to email her flyer she was printing to my email so I could print it out, and she couldn't stop thanking me. She told me, "Here, have this as a thank you." It was a powdered energy drink. I said, "No thanks, helping is a part of my job." But she kept insisting it, so I took it. It took a little while longer to help than I expected, since her computer was older than my dad, and she once again said, "Here, take another packet, I've got spares." To which I just said, "Oh, Thanks? This resulted in her handing me her business card, saying she's looking for skilled people. I acted interested in it, and she said she'll expect an email from me soon after for an interview. I finished up helping her, and she pulls out a bottle of face wash for me and says it's another product her company makes as a thank you for helping me. I took it and wished her good luck. I looked up her business, and it's basically filled with stuff like, "Doctors are wrong, try our energy drink to cure your cancer." And then he attached the actual picture of the flyer, which is amazing. Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now or check out the playlist down below. If you enjoyed that video, then please do leave a like on it and subscribe if you aren't already. But thank you again for watching, and I will see you very soon.